Jesus Christ, what a week.
What
What a day.
What a couple hours. Yeah. Bitcoin.
REKT.
REKT. REKT.
So, we have not done this in a while.
Mm-hmm.
I've been texting you and you never write me back.
Too busy looking at the fucking crypto charts, I guess. I don't know.
I've been
No, because every time you text me, you're like, oh, I can't figure out Coinbase. The Coinbase isn't... And I'm like, I don't even use Coinbase. Who uses Coinbase?
So you
Fuck Coinbase.
So your response is to just not text me back at all.
Well, I mean, I text a little bit, but at some point, I'm just like, I don't know anything. I don't know how to respond to these Coinbase questions.
You could just write back and say, I don't know. Or when I say like, hey, let's do the podcast, and then you're like, cool, let's do it tomorrow, and then I just never hear from you again.
Really? That happened?
Like a bunch of times.
I thought... All right, well, we're here now.
Because our former employer is texting me all the time asking about stuff. So
I am not happy about our former employer's entrance into the crypto sphere. Personally.
Why?
Because he's kind of a jerk. He was kind of a jerk to me when I was talking about Neo and ant shares and talking about,
you're taking it personally.
Bitcoin, and he's like, "Oh, Strider, I just invested $40,000 in ant shares, and it's down 10%. What am I going to do?" And I'm like, "Dude,
yeah."
Now he's in the game. Now he's taking it seriously.
He's paid for it though with his lack of investment into Neo though.
Well,
that's his penance,
I guess. He probably would have. It was a weird time to invest. If he would have invested and then sold, and then put it in Bitcoin and let it ride. But Neo's been kind of, ever since that first or second crazy pump, it's been on a slow,
it's
Satoshi decline.
Well, it's interesting. I was at a Christmas party the other night, and I was like sitting around the fire with some people. It was just, it was one of those parties where it's like I knew the host and I didn't know a single other person there, Mm-hmm. And everyone's like in their like a little older than me, like in their late 40s, early 50s kind of vibe, like kind of an adult party. Like there
boomers or Gen X?
No. More like in between Gen Xers and boomers, I guess you'd say, whatever that is. Like, born in the 60s or born in the 60s, I'd say, that right. Whatever that is. But anyways, so we're sitting around talking, and I made some joke about, because I had like this guy whose house it was, I had helped him kind of get started on the whole Bitcoin thing. Mm-hmm. And sorry, I got a fucking cold, and the worst thing in the world, I think, is listening to some fucking asshole talk when he's got a cold. But he had gotten in, I'm trying to remember where I got him in. Probably in the, I want to say, 7,000 range.
Right.
And I don't know how much he invested. I don't like to ask people those kinds of questions, but I know he was constantly putting in money, mm-hmm. Probably not too much, but a decent amount. And when it got up to 20K the first time, he basically was just like, fuck this, I'm out, and sold everything via Coinbase and cashed out his money. And so I was making a kind of a joke at this thing the other night. I should have offered you a water. I'm sorry.
Oh, yeah.
You all right?
No, I'm good.
All right. I meant to. I was joking at this thing. I said, oh, yeah, the Bitcoin paid for this like backyard, this landscaping, and this catering or whatever the fuck we were doing. Mm-hmm. And I was met with like 6 people in a semicircle that were just like, basically, their question to me was, so what is Bitcoin? Mm-hmm. So I feel like that's what's crazy to me with all this talk, with all this like shit, like in our world, all this action going on. There's still like 9 out of 10 people are going to be like, what is Bitcoin though?
Yeah.
And they're like, oh, it's a scam. Oh, it's a
Ponzi scheme
or whatever it is, whatever they think it is, and when I explain to them, that it like just simple things like, oh, it's divisible, you don't
have to buy a whole Bitcoin.
Yeah, shit like that, just like the most simplest aspects of it. Oh, or in that there were coins besides Bitcoin. Like then they were just like, I don't even want to fucking that's too much, It's interesting. So my point here is that overall, it's still so fucking unknown and kind of a mystery to so many people.
Yeah.
And yet, we're like, what's the market cap now? Like $500 billion.
It's up there, yeah.
Getting there?
Yeah.
So,
yeah.
this week, here. So now I'm going to ask you these. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
This is what happened this week. Coinbase adds Bitcoin Cash.
Yeah. Yeah, it did.
So what the fuck happened there, and what is Bitcoin Cash?
It's a fork of Bitcoin.
Right.
So they took a picture of the blockchain at block whatever, and everyone that was holding Bitcoin in their wallet at that time of the picture of the block got a percentage of Bitcoin Cash based on
1-to-1.
Yeah, 1-to-1. A ratio of Bitcoin Cash 1-to-1 for how much Bitcoin you held.
And Bittrex did it the day it happened, the moment it happened, right?
Yeah, Bittrex, Binance. There are some sites that gave you credit for it. Really
and a lot of people sort of just automatically dumped their Bitcoin Cash when they got it the first time.
Yeah.
And then a lot of the Coinbase customers were just like, well, I'm just waiting, and whether or not they ever do it.
I think it was a good move to wait for them, the forced wait.
Of course.
If you sold when you got it on Bittrex, it was like went from 300 to 800 to 900.
And then went back down
to 300 forever.
Totally.
But now it's like if you're looking at your wallet, you got like 3,000,
Well, and also, I mean, it just went with what Bitcoin did, know. And so if you didn't have it, you didn't have any to sell. And as Bitcoin went into the stratosphere, it was just sitting there idly going up, the whole time. Mm-hmm. But the problem is with this whole thing is now that they were supposed to roll it out in January 1st, apparently, mm-hmm. and give people a chance to like buy it. And what happened was they just added it without any warning. And now they're saying that some of these people, like this Roger Ver guy, mm-hmm. who's a big Bitcoin Cash proponent, because
he's not just a Bitcoin Cash proponent. He's the guy who basically started the whole fork thing. He's like he's the Vitalik.
Shit.
He's the Vitalik Buterin of Bitcoin Cash.
Right. Well, no, but Vitalik Buterin is Ethereum. He's not Ethereum Classic.
I know, but he is to Bitcoin Cash as Vitalik Buterin is to Ethereum.
Gotcha.
He's like the CEO or whatever.
He's the Mayim Bialik,
the face behind it all. Yeah.
And so what is their argument? We've split down. We kind of split now. Mm-hmm. There's like this faction, and I feel like at first everybody was like really against Bitcoin Cash.
Yeah.
And now I start to see people kind of. It seems like people are starting to go towards Bitcoin Cash because of some of the transaction times and some of the transaction fees that we're seeing with Bitcoin.
Mostly, yeah. If you want to send a Bitcoin for $10 worth of Bitcoin right now, you end up paying like $10 in fees.
Why is that?
Just because the blockchain's, I guess, clogged and because there's so much interest in it that they can charge that much.
Who's charging it?
The miners, the people that run nodes and process the payments.
So if I send Bitcoin to you, specifically, I'm going to get charged a fee on that.
Depends on how fast you want it. Like on Electrum, you can there's a fee slider, a scale thing. So
because I've only ever deposited into Electrum, I've never sent out of it.
Yeah, yeah. But if you want something to send faster, you can slide the fee scale up to like 0.1% or 2% or whatever it is.
Right.
If you want it to go slower, you can turn the fee down to like less of a percent. I don't know. I haven't sent any Bitcoin in a while because of the fees.
Right.
And that's probably has something to do with the price going up. A lot of people don't want to spend it, so they're not moving it around. So it's like
Are you currently buying Bitcoin though? When was the last time you bought Bitcoin? Like bought Bitcoin itself?
Like 7,000.
Okay. So did you buy it on Coinbase though?
Yeah.
Because that's the only game in town, really. Gemini. Okay. Yeah. But is Gemini good or bad or better or worse?
I would say it's, from my experience, it's better.
It's better.
People are really pissed off at Coinbase right now. It's down apparently for at least when I was on Twitter earlier. It was down for a few hours. It's been
up and down. Explain to me this, and so we'll get back to this whole Coinbase thing because there's more shit about it that is kind of crazy. Mm-hmm. Explain to me this though. So my sort of technique recently is to buy Litecoin on Coinbase, eat the fee that I get for the purchasing the Litecoin. Then what I do is I transfer that Litecoin to GDAX, which is Coinbase's exchange. And that's free to transfer to GDAX.
That's good.
And from GDAX, I transfer to Bittrex. And that's free as well. Because
why do you go to GDAX first and then?
Because if I transfer Litecoin to Bittrex, there's a fee. There's a transfer fee.
But there's not to GDAX, and there's not from GDAX to Bittrex?
As far as I can tell, no.
Oh.
So that's how I do it. And then I once I'm on Bittrex, I sell that Litecoin for Bitcoin. And then I use that Bitcoin to buy alts.
Right.
Whatever I want.
But you are paying a fee when you sell the Litecoin for Bitcoin.
With Bittrex.
Yeah.
Yeah, because every time you sell something,
you pay a fee.
You pay a fee, right?
There's a deal on Binance, is this other website, the other exchange.
Yeah.
And if you buy Binance coins, you pay the fee in Binance coin.
Right.
And it's less of a fee. It's like 0.05% or something.
Right. And then I was trying this other thing, this arbitrage or whatever the fuck you call it.
Yeah.
Arbitrage.
I haven't done that.
Okay. Well, we're basically buying Litecoin for 300 US, transferring it to GDAX, and then transferring that to Coinbase, and then selling it for $366 on Coinbase. And then Coinbase takes like their fee, which is like $10. But then in the meantime, you've made $50.
Oh, okay. So you find something that's trading for less on one exchange, move it to the other exchange and sell it.
Yeah.
I did something similar to that by accident. There was this thing that was trading Steam bucks. It has to do with that website Steam, which is similar to Reddit,
right?
Where people can vote on your stuff and you make money in cryptocurrency Steam,
right?
But on Bittrex, Steam bucks were trading for like $13-14 one day. And on Polonia,
Steam it? Is this what you're talking about?
It's Steam it. They have different kinds of.
Okay.
They have 3 different cryptocurrencies.
Right.
They have Steam, they have Steam dollars, and Steam bucks.
Right.
But I noticed that it was trading for like $6 on Poloniex.
Right.
So I bought a ton of it on Poloniex, and then within a few days, or a few hours even, it was like up to $13 because there was some difference in. I don't know how it works, but my advice to people is keep an eye out for that. If something's trading for less on one exchange. And
well, that's nothing new. I mean, people do that in stocks all the time.
Yeah.
It's the whole thing about it is it's just, does the timing work out?
Yeah. Are you trading?
Because, by the time I'm able to get my Litecoin from Bittrex to Coinbase, the price may have gone down enough that it doesn't even matter anymore.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? With the fees and everything built in. So it's just interesting. It worked, but it was a lot of fucking work, and it was a lot of like timing, trying to game the system,
Yeah.
And I feel like if you want to sit around and do that all day long and make $10 here over and over again, you probably could do that. You're going to have a fucked up existence, but you know what I mean? It's going to be.
I mean, it could be better than getting a job at
No, it's
Walmart. Or
trust
something.
me, it's better than getting a fucking job. I'm just saying you're going to be sitting there with be sitting there with 3 computers, and you're just going to be doing like $10 here, $10 there, over and over again. Which if you're inclined to do that and you got the fucking math skills and you know what you're doing, I can think of way worse ways to make money.
The arbitrage.
So. Now, here's the accusation on this whole Coinbase thing, though, is that they added the Bitcoin Cash.
Right.
The system immediately went south.
You couldn't trade it on Coinbase? Okay.
It was trading for a premium of $9,000 on Coinbase for like a second.
Wow.
For like a few minutes, it was like every other exchange had it at like 3. It was at 9 on Coinbase.
Oh, probably because some noob is like, "Oh, Bitcoin, it's the same thing."
Well, yeah,
I'm gonna get it. It's only that much, and then
so
they
people
put
started buying it like crazy, and all these people that had it on there were able to sell it like ridiculously.
Yeah,
but there's a lot of people that were buying because Bitcoin Cash started pumping super hard before this announcement.
Yeah.
So that's the idea, is that there's got to be people that knew about this announcement.
Well, I bought it before the announcement. I didn't know. I was just like, oh, it looks like it's pumping. And I think I bought it like 0.016 or 0.16 or whatever.
Right, but you saw that it was pumping.
Yeah. And it was a kind of, I usually don't buy into pumps, but I was just like, I had heard Roger Ver on this podcast, the Crypto Street podcast.
Yeah.
And he was very persuasive in his argument about why Bitcoin Cash, has less fees and it's faster transactions. I think larger block sizes. I don't know. It made sense. And the guy didn't seem like it felt weird because I was seeing all this FUD about him on the internet. Like everyone's like, Roger Ver is this asshole. But then I was listening to him, I was like, this guy isn't that much of an asshole, any more or less than anyone else.
Well, the idea of Bitcoin being gold 2.0, and now we have Bitcoin Cash, which is Bitcoin 2.0, and that's kind of the argument for some people.
It does seem like it's an attack on the system, and the fact I don't like that he's calling it Bitcoin Core. It's like everyone's kind of insulting Bitcoin Cash by calling it Bcash. So now he's like firing back and calling it Bitcoin Core instead of just Bitcoin. And it's like, we see that, Roger. We see you're trying to attack Bitcoin, and it's
right.
I get why he's doing it to some degree, but at the same time, we have to remember that like the reason Bitcoin's here is to create a decentralized network, payment network, and it's not to like, I don't know, fund some corporation or new industry kind of a guy. I don't know. He seems like I don't know. I'm 50-50 on Bitcoin Cash right now. I'm like,
well, we're gonna have to see what happens. It went up really fast, and then of course, like everything else, like when it's new, it's fucking, the new kid on the block, and it pumped super hard, and then it evened out. Like everyone went back to like fucking sanity, So that's just the way these things go, And now
it's crazy how the pumps go in this market. It's like that thing Redcoin. Did you see that pump at all? It was just like 15 Satoshi to like 100 Satoshi.
Well, I want to talk about that because so now we got fucking McAfee announcing these coins every day. It's
we should talk about that.
Yeah, I'm going to talk about it.
McAfee's
12 coins of Christmas.
Is that what he's calling it?
No, I'm calling fucking bullshit on this shit right now. But the famous one, the reason why I think he's even able to do this is we had
Verge.
XVG, the Verge coin, and
which I've always heard of it as like a shit coin, where it's just Bitcoin on Tor, so it's like a privatized version of Bitcoin.
It's a more private version, right? Yeah. So but I guess that's fine, that has some use or whatever. There's people that may want to use that. What's crazy about that though is like that people were, investing like a couple $100 in this thing when it was like worth like 1/100 of a penny.
Yeah.
And then McAfee comes out and says that it's great, and then it shoots up to like 15 cents.
Yeah.
So people are making like fucking hundreds of thousands of dollars on this thing.
Yeah, it did well, but it went from like, 15, it did really well. What is it at now? 300? No, 900. Oh, it went crazy. Yeah, never mind.
Yeah,
it's insane.
You were on it. You were saying you wished that you had gotten in when it was at 5 cents.
What, Verge?
Yeah. I'm looking at it right now.
Oh, yeah.
I'm just looking at it right now. It's like, let me see where it's at.
Because I remember looking at it. I was watching it. It was 15. Yeah, it was 15 Satoshi, somewhere around there.
It's like
McAfee, 9 cents.
9 Satoshi.
When? In the beginning?
Right now.
Verge?
Yeah.
900?
Yeah. Huh?
900?
922.
Yeah, 920. I'm telling you, it was 15.
Oh, yeah. Okay,
or something,
gotcha.
or 50 or something really ridiculous.
I'm saying 900.
Yeah. So I saw him tweet about it. It went up to like 150. And I was like, what is this crazy shit, McAfee? You're like pulling some strings here.
Right.
And then it jumped another like 200 or 300% from there.
I know, but I'm just saying like that. So now he did that with this one.
Yeah.
And now this is where I'm.
Well, he tweeted about a few things with that one. He tweeted about Monero, I think Dash, and Verge.
Yeah.
And people just grabbed on.
Well, I think Verge was like considered kind of unknown compared to the other two at the time.
Well, also you've got to look at it this way. There was a lot of one of the crypto OGs led me onto this, but it's like there's a lot of new money in crypto right now.
Sure.
Like our our boss, getting into this for the first time, whatever. They go on Bittrex, they go on Poloniex, and they see these cheap coins.
Right.
They see Red Coin, they see Verge Coin, and it's like, oh, it's only a penny. I'll buy 1 million of them. I'll
Sure,
buy
sure.
200,000 of them.
Sure.
But like if you saw it like this week, every coin that was under a penny is like 20, 30 cents now.
Yeah.
For no reason other than like, I think
just people buying cheap up
masses.
stuff.
Yeah, the masses were just like, oh, Dogecoin, oh, Bitbean, oh, Verge Coin, like all of these cheap coins.
Well, I think that's what happened with the Litecoin pump that we saw a couple weeks ago was when Bitcoin hit 20,000 US. Coinbase, the registrations for Coinbase went crazy. And then people got on there and they were like, I got to get me some Bitcoin. And then they got on there like, oh, it's $20,000. And they're like, oh, but this other thing is $100.
Right.
So I'll just buy that.
I think it was 80.
Well, yeah. And
like
at
at that time, like it went
was fucking $30 for a year. And then it went to like almost $400.
Yeah.
So, but I think it's the same thing where people are like, as this information starts to trickle down, it's like I said, when I'm at this party and I'm like, people are asking me what Bitcoin is. I'm not even getting to explain like what the fuck Neo is at this point.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I'm like trying to explain Bitcoin. So as the information goes further down the line and you see people adopting Bitcoin, it's just like inevitably these smaller things are going to be adopted because people are looking for bargains.
And a lot of the people that got in recently, these newbies that came in and were buying up the cheap coins, they made a ton of money.
Yeah.
Because they just pumped like crazy.
Yeah.
So they're going to tell all their friends, like, oh, I got into crypto, I got into Bittrex, I bought some Dogecoin, and now I've got $2,000.
What the fuck is Doge anyways?
It's like an
Is
old...
it a dog?
You remember memes? You know memes?
Yeah.
They were one of the first ones was a dog, like a Shiba Inu dog.
Oh, yeah, I
and
remember
it would
that
say,
dog.
like, ooh, very. Wow.
Yeah, he would put his elbow out.
Yeah, and so someone back when Bitcoin started, they made a fork of Bitcoin, called it Dogecoin.
Oh.
And
so it's been around for a while.
Yeah.
So it's kind of a joke.
It's half a joke, but they do funny things. Like they get, like back in the day, this is like 2014, I think, 2012, somewhere between there. They got a bunch of people to donate Doge to a Jamaican bobsled team.
Okay.
And they funded a Jamaican bobsled team
right.
with Doge and had a little dog on the front. They
so
also
it's kind of a prankster
thing.
Sort of thing.
It's just...
Or they're just like taking the piss out of all this stuff a little bit.
A little, yeah. It's just about fun, about having a good time.
I like that.
I think
I like fun.
They could do something new. I think someone needs to organize a new Doge project. Someone
Someone needs to do a fucking
or something.
Serious Doge thing, and then just like get it to really pump up there.
Yeah, but the thing about it is it's cheap to trade, to send. The transaction fees are relatively non-existent for Doge. It's mostly supposed to be like a tipping spot. Kind of so
okay.
if you see someone on Reddit or Twitter or Facebook, there's a way to send them Doge, just a comment, and then they click on something, they go claim the Doge.
Gotcha.
So that's what people are.
So it's like a tip.
Yeah.
Interesting. I wonder, did you see this thing, this other one kind of just it was stupid, but it reminds me of that is speaking of Doges, we're hearing, we can hear the dogs eating in the background. But this whole this Long Island iced tea thing. Did you see this?
Yeah. What is that? I saw a really funny thing where someone said like, what if you turned your whole business into a cryptocurrency and it tanked like the next day or something? Because that's what happened, right?
No, it went up. Their stock went like 200% up. I mean, it may have tanked since then.
Since then,
probably did. But
yeah.
But it was just the idea that it was this company that makes like iced tea.
Yeah.
And they just decided to like add blockchain to their title, their name, to their LLC or whatever, and like automatically their stock went up like 200% because it just like people saw that it was a cryptocurrency company.
I don't know if that's good or bad.
Well, I think it's bad in the sense that it reminds me too much of like when people talk about like the internet bubble.
Yeah.
It's like that kind of like,
I know.
It's like e-cigarettes, and people are like, oh, it's a electronic cigarette like company that like they're sending around digital cigarettes. It's like, no, it's just like an electronic fucking toothbrush, but you smoke it, or whatever.
It's kind of a fad, but I don't think it's a fad. I don't think Bitcoin's a fad.
Well, I don't think the overall thing is a fad, but it's just the more of these like kind of fucking bullshit things that happen, the less faith people
Less
have in it overall.
legitimacy.
Yeah, and just you don't want people being confused. You know, it's like that's why people get out of stuff.
People are confused though.
Well, people are confused about everything, anyways. I mean, I'm confused.
Right
I'm
now.
fucking confused. So that brings us to the next thing. So
everything's confused. I don't know what to believe anymore. I don't know what to believe.
It's all fake news. But
did Roy Moore? Is that a fake? Was that a fake thing about the yearbook?
Oh, that's what you say.
What do you mean? I say I heard that.
I'm just. I
heard that yearbook thing was.
By the way, the dog eats he goes to the food and he takes some food. And then he runs away, and then he eats it somewhere else. That's why you hear like the tipper tap. Yeah, that's what.
Harvest.
I don't know. It's I'm just going by what I see you liking on Twitter.
Yeah.
So someone said that the thing with the yearbook was
a
fake.
forgery. It was a forged thing.
I wouldn't doubt it. I mean, I just like. I guess it's like. The Democratic side, or whatever you want to call it, the liberal side, there's a lot of people on that side that feel like they have been fighting fair, and that's why they're losing. So now they're like saying that we can't fight fair either. We can't fight fair if we want to win, so we have to fight unfair. Maybe that's part of some sort of liberal conspiracy or whatever,
They can't fight fair. They've been systematically brainwashing people to vote Democrat on Facebook for the past few years, but they can't fight fair. All right.
Well, that's
their thing.
That's the argument, in that like Donald Trump, everyone like. I think that's why they had Al Franken was.
They can't fight fair. She's fucking stole the election from Bernie. What do you mean they can't fight fair? That's the definition of the Democrat playbook. Is like, don't fight fair. If there's an old man that wants to give people socialized medicine and free education, and a bird lands on his shoulder during a speech, you've got to take aim at that bird. Take him down. Get him in your crosshairs. Get this woman.
Fuck, I'm sick.
Get this clam into office and stop asking questions.
Clam, how dare you?
A little less than a sea creature.
Oh no! Here comes the dogs. Here comes Fonz.
Buy Doge. Get some Doge coins.
We have two dogs today.
They're shilling Doge right now.
We have Fonzie and Charlie today. Jesus Christ, they're loud. So which brings me to my next topic.
Mm-hmm.
Overall, REKT.
What's REKT?
The whole thing is REKT.
Crypto?
No, we got wrecked last night. Everything got fucking wrecked.
Yeah, except Ripple.
XRP. I have that written down here.
Yeah.
What does that make you think?
Conspiracy.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's what I was thinking too.
I think if people would look into who Benjamin Losky is.
Yeah, you hate this guy.
And you look at his reputation in the crypto community and what he's done with regards to regulating Bitcoin in New York and making Bitcoin ATMs illegal,
right?
And having you make a Bitcoin license to trade Bitcoin. It's just
is he the guy that was trying to go after the Winklevoss twins?
Or maybe, I don't know.
Huh, I wish I remember that name of that lawyer guy that was like anti. It's got to be the same guy, I think.
But I don't know.
What's
I don't
his
like
story?
That guy. I don't like Ben Losky. I don't like who he associates with.
But he's in Ripple. Is that his deal?
He's the chairman of the board of Ripple. He's one of the board members of Ripple.
Right.
So this guy that's been attacking Bitcoin.
Right.
Starts working for Ripple. Works in the government. Works for the banks. Is in the pockets of Goldman Sachs. It's ridiculous, and everyone's flocking towards Ripple like it's the fucking answer. But
Ripple forever was like worth like nothing, and now we're seeing like $1.25 on Ripple.
I mean, it wasn't worth nothing.
No, I'm just saying comparatively,
because there's so many of them, and then there's very little in actual circulation. There's 38 billion Ripple in existence that were pre-mined by an entity that's that's just like a corporation. A corporation pre-mined these Disney dollar coins. And they're selling them.
What do you mean by Disney dollar?
Just they're fake. I mean, people say that about Bitcoin, but it's like the people are working for Bitcoin They look at John McAfee. It cost him $2,000 to make one Bitcoin.
Right. Is he mining Bitcoin, John McAfee?
Yeah, he's got the biggest North American mining
okay.
facility going on.
That's why he says that the price is going to shoot up because he needs it to.
Yeah. Yeah.
Gotcha.
But if you look, I mean,
so there's 38 billion coins,
Ripple tokens,
Ripple tokens,
or whatever.
But how many are in circulation?
Less than half. Well, less than half. I tweeted about it.
And so
something like 40%.
Right. And so who holds the rest of them?
They're locked away in some escrow account, from what I've read.
But if they were to release all those, the price would plummet.
Yeah.
Right.
They're gonna dump. They're gonna dump on. They're whales that are gonna dump on the fucking investors when they're sleeping. It's like it's ridiculous to think that Ripple is going to be this quote-unquote standard, because that's their hashtag. That's what they want.
Right.
They work with the Federal Reserve. They've got Ben Bernanke speaking at their conference.
Right.
Ben Bernanke, the guy who started quantum easement, which is just like the worst thing that happened to American economics in the past 20 years, aside from taking the fucking dollar off the gold standard in 71. So now they're trying to take the dollar off the fiat standard because Bitcoin's going to fuck that up.
Right.
And they're going to try to put on the Ripple standard.
Right.
That's my theory.
Well,
That's
taking
my
the gold
conspiracy.
I mean, I don't think it's that. I don't think you're that far off. You know. I think.
Well, I wish people would fucking wake up and not buy Ripple, because it's going to make them a little bit of money in the short term.
Do you have any Ripple?
I have no Ripple. I will never
You're
buy
the
Ripple.
Charlie Lee of Ripple. Did you ever buy Ripple?
I may have bought it at a loss in my early trading days.
Right, when you didn't really know what it was.
Yeah, I was just like, oh, and then I did some research, and I'm like, fuck these people. Fuck this like, there's two types of people in crypto. There's people that are here that a bank is behind a coin, and they're like, oh, that's great. Sure. And there's people that are like, oh, this is a thing for the people, where people manage it.
Right.
And there's those kind of people.
Well, the original idea was to not have the banks involved. That was kind of the original. Yeah, that was the idea of Bitcoin.
That's sort of that was the impetus behind Bitcoin. You
right.
know, the financial collapse of 2008. You got the derivatives trading. You've got the bankers' default, the mortgage crisis, and it's all because banks were greedy fucks that had too much power. But they had power over this fucking system, and now they're trying to take that back with Ripple.
Well, of course, and I think that they're afraid of Bitcoin, obviously, and I think that, but I think that for some people that want to invest in cryptocurrency, I mean, the idea of crypto is the idea that any of this stuff is hidden is silly, but you know what I mean?
Yeah.
I mean, in the sense of like, we know where all the Bitcoin is, we know where everything is,
I mean, Dash, Monero,
some of those are more,
Pivx
some of them are more about secrets or whatever you want to call it.
Well, not telling everyone how you're spending your money.
Yeah, exactly. But I feel like for some people that are maybe like someone who's a little bit older or more like old school in their sort of like ideas in investing, Ripple. Oh yeah, it becomes.
If you're an old school kind of like old,
but you want to get in on this new thing. Ripple is pretty. What's the word I'm looking for here? Something. It's appealing.
Yeah, it is appealing, especially because it's so cheap.
Right,
and you see like
Well, it's over $1 now.
I mean, that's cheap compared to Litecoin. That's cheap compared to Dash. I mean, if you look at the heavy hitters on the front page.
What does Dash do then?
I feel like Dash is a fucking scam.
But it's like $1,000.
It was $1,500 the other day.
Yeah.
And the way it works is it's like there's this thing called the masternode system, where if you have a certain amount of a cryptocurrency locked up in your wallet, I think it's like 10,000 Dash. Then you have you're like a mini bank. And so when people want to do a transaction, they have to go through your master node, and if you have all those Dash sitting there, it makes the thing more fluid, the whole system more fluid. And do you get paid? Do you get rewarded? And you get paid based on every transaction. Right. Yeah. So it kind of makes a little bit of sense. I mean, I see the point. It's like, in order to get that, you need $1 million. It's very limiting for most of the public. Sure. But well,
I guess my whole point is that out of watching Bitcoin retrace 30%, watching everything fall, and then watching Ripple rise during that time, it's pretty obvious what's going on.
I mean, that happens with all of it. I mean, you know what's interesting? Last night I was kind of freaking out about this whole Ripple thing, and I was looking into it. and I looked on CoinMarketCap, and I don't know if this was a glitch because sometimes there's weird glitches. But I look at Bitcoin and I organize, I'm trying to find where the cheapest Bitcoin is. So I organize it by price of Bitcoin. Like I look at all the exchanges that are trading Bitcoin and I organize it by the price. And I find this one exchange. This is going to sound so weird and conspiratorial, but it's an exchange out of Japan, and it's called Mr. Ripple.
Mm-hmm.
And they're selling Bitcoin for $5.88.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm not sure if that's a glitch on CoinMarketCap because sometimes they get the numbers wrong.
Sure.
But then I went to Mr. Ripple, and it's really fucking shady looking.
Right.
As far as exchanges go.
Right.
Like it's just like Microsoft 2.0 kind of like
sure.
Internet 1.0. Like,
right.
Looks like AOL from 99.
GeoCities.
GeoCities kind of site. And then I look at the Bitcoin volume, and guess how much volume of Bitcoin is going through Mr. Ripple?
I don't know.
$900 million worth of volume.
Really?
Almost $1 billion.
Wow.
And so I'm just like, what the fuck is going on?
It has to be a glitch then. There's no way. Did you buy some Bitcoin?
I tried to sign up, but it's all in Japanese, and my Japanese isn't so good.
No, there's no way that there's like Japanese people buying Bitcoin for $5 when everyone else is spending over 10,000.
But maybe, I mean, there was $1 billion worth of volume going in there that time. I don't know.
Mr. Ripple.
Yeah.
All right, what do you got? That's all I got.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't have much. I have, CryptoKitties.
Yeah. What? Oh, yeah. We were supposed to talk about this the last time you bailed on me.
These
So what the fuck is this? Are they still doing that fucking
meme?
shit?
Did you see the meme with Samuel L. Jackson where he's like?
No, I saw the meme. The meme that I like is the it's like the Bitcoin versus Ethereum meme where it's like, there's the guy that's like the Bitcoin guy is like you, and he's like he's really into like Roy Moore. And
I'm not really into Roy Moore.
He has like fingerless.
I don't like the.
He has fingerless gloves.
Guilty until proven innocent.
And he's like has a knife.
he's like
he's in the woods. He has a beard.
Solar power.
But he's not like solar power. He's just off the grid.
He's just like got an axe and he's making his own firewood.
Yeah, exactly. He's like a doomsday prepper.
And the Ethereum guy is this like
he's a brony.
Millennial brony. Yeah,
he's a brony. He's like wearing like a pink shirt with a unicorn on it.
And they want they want Lambos to the moon. Someone's brainwashing these people. What is this Lambo thing?
The Ethereum guys are the Lambo guys?
It started with Ethereum, but it's there's just this overwhelming wave of greed where people they're jealous that they saw people bought Bitcoin when it was $1 and now it's 20,000 and they want it on they want their slice of the pie. They don't care what they'll sacrifice to get there. It's better to have a future where it seems like currency is decentralized and it works for the people instead of what we have now where the banks are in control. Absolutely. And if they fuck up, the taxpayers have to foot the bill. If they fuck this Ripple thing up,
bail them out.
We're gonna bail them out with Bitcoin. I'm not fucking fuck that.
You're not gonna give them your Bitcoin.
If there's a cryptocurrency that is backed by a bank, like I'm not gonna invest.
They're gonna take your Bitcoin from your
cold dead hands. From my cold dead hands.
Have you heard about people that are like being held at gunpoint to give up their private keys?
Whoa, I do not want that to happen. I don't know what I would do if that happened to me. I would just be like, I would give them fake keys and be like, I can't remember.
But then he plugs it in and it doesn't work.
Yeah, I don't know. I heard about that lady in New York that sent ISIS some Bitcoin.
Oh yeah, and then what was her sentence?
100 years or something.
Yeah, they should just fucking sentence her to death.
They should just make her fight for ISIS. Just send her over and have her live that life.
But we had to fight her then. Why don't they just kill her before they?
Because America's already funding ISIS. We'll send them some troops while we're at it.
Christ.
Hey, that was proven, by the way. Those Toyotas, Obama just left them there for ISIS.
Like the Toyota trucks or whatever. I saw a documentary where it's all about like the war profiteers, and it's just like these guys that outfit these fucking Toyotas and these guys that sell like toilet paper, like shitty toilet paper that's like, weak toilet paper that's like 1 ply.
Right. They just send them to
like war toilet paper, Those guys are so stoked,
the war merchants just running around selling.
They just want wars because they make so much. That's where they make their money. Like if you're a wartime,
that's how the banks are funding all these wars too.
Yeah, no, I agree with you. I know. It's just I wish I was
more
knowledgeable about it to like debate
illegal.
you, but
it should be illegal to go to war. banks should not have the power to fund wars, and buy some Bitcoin, maybe.
Yeah.
I'm just worried Bitcoin could be compromised because we had Jamie Dimon fucking buying it at 5,000.
Right.
Apparently, if this guy I Am Nomad tweeted about it,
Right.
Jamie Dimon was buying a bunch of Bitcoin after.
Jamie Dimon's the one whose daughter's a retard, right?
His daughter's really smart because she was buying Bitcoin, before.
But he said she was retarded.
Because she was buying Bitcoin.
Oh, okay. She wasn't actually retarded.
No, I think she's of sound mind.
I thought maybe she was just like, this like little retarded girl that was going on his computer and buying Bitcoin, and he was upset about that.
Oh, that would be interesting. That happened to my cousin. They would buy those. They had that aquarium game on the app.
Aquarium?
And my little cousins spent like $600 on my uncle's credit card.
They're retarded?
Well, no. They were just kids spending money.
Okay, gotcha.
But that happens.
Yeah. Well, that's I just pictured like it would be funny if Jamie Dimon was brought down.
He looks at his credit card bill and he's like, "What is this? Coinbase?"
Yeah.
And then starts like, "That's the future." I can't do that. You can say retard, you can't do the voice.
Yeah, because it's a medical term. You're not making fun. I'm saying the woman has she's a retardation is a.
Sean Penn got an Oscar for doing that voice.
In what?
I don't know. I'm Sam, I think.
Oh, really?
I don't know if he does that voice.
No, you're thinking about What's Eating Gilbert Grape.
Yeah, tons of acters, they play retarded people.
Leonardo DiCaprio.
He didn't get an Oscar for that.
Oh.
He got an Oscar for the fucking weird. That movie was weird. Revenant? Did you see that?
Oh, yeah, The Revenant. Yeah, I like that movie.
I liked it, but it didn't seem Oscar worthy.
You like Dunkirk, right?
I liked Dunkirk.
Yeah, I got to see that.
Oh, you haven't seen it?
Yeah,
Oh,
I feel like
for
Dunkirk is like people that like Bitcoin would like Dunkirk, and then
Okay.
and then people that like Ethereum would like what's that movie? Call Me by My Name or Tell Me that
Saving Private Ryan.
Tell me that you love me.
Tell me.
What the new one with Army Hammer?
I don't know.
Oh, it's like he's like an old guy that has sex with a young guy.
It's a war movie?
No, it's not a war movie. It's a love story.
It's a gay love story with Army Hammer?
Yeah, and a young guy. But some people are upset about it because they're like, well, why is this pedophilia okay? And then like...
Oh, it's a pedophilia thing? Fuck, man. They're trying to normalize pedophilia.
Well, no, but like, why is...
Oh, we didn't talk about that. Vitalik Buterin.
What about him?
Normalizing pedophilia.
That's what I said. It's an Ethereum movie.
It is an
Mayim
Ethereum
Bialik is like why is he normalizing pedophilia?
He was getting in some argument on Twitter with some guy about Silk Road, I think, and drug regulations. And his argument was like, well, if you're thinking about legalizing heroin, you might as well legalize child pornography or child CP, whatever that, child pedophilia.
Who said that?
Mayim Bialik, Vitalik Buterin.
But why did he say? He said
his argument was like child pedophilia
is the same as heroin.
Is better than heroin.
Really?
Yeah, he's like, if you're
I've
trying
never
to
tried
legalize,
either, so it's hard for me to tell which one is better.
I don't know. It was a really controversial thing to say.
I probably would try heroin first.
I would definitely go with the heroin. If you had because you're not scarring any fucking human being for the rest of their lives.
If you had a gun to my head and there was like some heroin there, and there was like this like super hot little boy.
Oh my god, too far.
I'm just kidding. No, of course we would smoke the heroin
with the little boy.
No, come on, that's horrible. But I don't understand why. But that's exactly what I said. It's like Tell Me You Love Me is this movie with Army Hammer, and then I said it's the Ethereum of movies, whereas Dunkirk is the Bitcoin, and then you immediately said that Mayim Bialik
accepts child pedophilia people as normalizes CP. But
CP. I like that you have a short way of saying.
I didn't make that up.
I like that. I like
that's
that.
Like
I like that you know like what the.
That's like Pizzagate stuff.
The what is it? The what do you call it? The initials abbreviation for child. I like that you have an abbreviation for child pornography. Oh yeah,
he said that. I'm quoting Vitalik Buterin. I'm quoting Vitalik. He said those were his initials.
Yeah, because
he abbreviated it
because it's on Twitter. So
he says it so often. He's got to shorten it to. Just
you're fucked up if you have an abbreviation for child pornography, and you assume other people like would understand what that meant.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, the guy's totally into CP.
Well, now everyone knows. Cat's out of the bag.
All right,
but
I thought it was Chris Paul. That's who I always thought.
They're cracking
CP3.
down. They're cracking
Who
down
is?
on this. The Trump administration.
Cracking down on what?
On sex trafficking.
Oh, okay. Well, that's good.
No one's reporting on it.
I can get behind
they're
that.
too busy reporting on Russia.
Well, no, they're busy reporting on this tax rollout,
Which is good, right?
I don't know. Is it good? I can't understand. This is the
like
thing. I know you do, but explain to me what you like about it.
I don't. I like the first draft of what there was. Did you see the first draft where it was like, I don't know, where it said you have to write "I win" if you make under 20,000 or something.
What?
And you send in, you don't have to pay taxes. I don't have to look at.
I like that. That's pretty cool. That's funny.
Yeah, I don't know. I'll have to look. But you know what I like about all this?
Here we go.
Buy Doge. Buy some Doge.
Here comes the dogs.
Oh my God.
I think it's time. That might be the end of the podcast, unless you got something to say over these crazy fucking chihuahuas.
I think we're good. I think that it's good that people are getting involved, doing some research, finding out what the hell's going on behind the curtain, and less people are just following the party line. You know? I feel like funny to talk about the alien stuff. Have you seen the alien stuff?
Yeah, I heard that. That's the thing. It's like now all the conspiracy guys are saying that the aliens aren't real, and then CNN is like saying that the aliens are real. So it's like, oh, thanks, Jess. She's bringing in my new synthesizer.
So yeah,
we're living in the upside down again.
We're
where
living
it's like,
in a crazy time where the media is like, yeah, we've got alien technology, and we're about to expose some crazy alien shit, and then all the conspiracy nuts are like,
no, you don't.
No, this is bullshit.
Yeah, what's going on?
Project Bluebeam. Look up Project Bluebeam.
What the hell's going on?
I don't know. They're trying to confuse everything. It's just mass confusion. Maybe, I don't know. It's like there's nowhere to find the facts anymore.
Right.
Which used to be the opposite of what the internet was. It was like this great encyclopedia where you can find all this information, and now it's like,
I feel like there's not even websites anymore. It's like people used to have, like, they would create like a website where they were really passionate about something,
some little thing,
and then they would like put all this information and research and stuff like that up on those places. Even if they're there anymore, you're not going to find them on Google anymore. You don't. Google now is like all that comes up is like Wikipedia, and then like, you know, the top like sort of like gossipy things, or like Facebook or whatever. You know what I mean? It's like there's not these like specific specialized websites anymore.
Yeah, where people are like obsessed with something and they dive into it and like share the knowledge.
I feel like you used to be able to go down these like kind of like wormholes of knowledge and like go to different websites and go to different things and read about certain things, and I don't see any of these fucking things anymore. All it is now, it's the same fucking 5 things over and over again.
Those people that used to do that, they're just on Facebook now.
No, they're just posting stuff on Facebook or whatever.
Yeah, and they're not even posting new shit. They're just seeing something and then hitting the repost button.
Right.
It's like, it's crazy.
It's weird. I feel like after this yesterday, after the whole Bitcoin thing, I know this is the whole point of the fucking show, but I really feel like I need to take a few days off of looking at like Twitter and looking at CoinTicker and looking at fucking Bittrex and all these places.
I know. I feel the
because
same
it's
way.
not gonna fucking.
It's not gonna do anything.
It's not gonna do anything for 3 days, and then come back. It's gonna either be up or it's gonna be down. And like,
and it's
in the meantime, I don't have any
down.
fucking money to buy anything anyways because I already fucking.
Just let it ride.
Yeah,
let it ride. It's gonna go up. It's gonna go down. Buy shit that you believe in. Here, I'll do a little shill. The shit that I'm buying right now is
Ripple.
I'm buying the opposite of Ripple. I'm looking at all the decentralized coins. I'm looking at a lot of coins that are funding scientific research.
Oh, that's cool. What about Patientory?
Yeah, I got a little Patientory going because it seems like they're coming back.
They are coming back, and I wish I would have held on to it, but there was kind of like a weird sort of scandalous moment there for a minute with them.
I'm not sure if it was FUD or not.
Backed me out of it, you know?
I would say if you can find Patientory under 2,000 Satoshi, it's good.
Yeah.
A good buy.
Yeah.
If it goes back down there. But I'm buying some Gridcoin Research, GRC.
GRC.
I'm buying some Folding Coin. I was tweeting about Folding Coin the other day, and it was like the number one thing on Poloniex. It's kind of a sleeping coin. Not many people know about it. It's used... to fund scientific research. Was developed by Stanford.
Folding Coin,
FLDC.
FLDC, is it on Bittrex?
It's on Bittrex and Poloniex.
Okay.
Yeah. And I just like the idea.
So Gridcoin, you like Gridcoin, GRC?
I like Gridcoin. I like Folding Coin. I like the idea that I'm not really don't really care if I make a ton of money or I get a Lambo. It'd be nice if we could all work together and fund some research to
Sure.
stop Ebola or fucking cancer or some shit.
I agree.
Like that would be the best thing for
I
mass
think
adoption.
that that's the second best thing. I think the best thing is that you have enough Neo in your wallet that's generating gas that you can live off of that gas and then have time to give back to the world as a whole.
Jed with the Neo show. Yeah, I know. I guess it's nice to be financially independent.
Isn't that the point, though? It's financial independence, because then you have, you don't have any time to complain at that point, and at that point, it's up to you to use your time to help your fellow.
But how many people are going to help their fellow human beings, and how
I'm
many
just
people
saying,
are going to watch the new episode of fucking?
You can do both. I'm just saying that I think that if you get to that point where you have figured this thing out enough to be financially independent, that should be the end goal. Is that you can then give back.
Yeah.
You don't have to give back everything.
No.
You just have to give back some of your time to someone who's less fortunate than you. Look at like LeBron James.
What did he do?
He does all sorts of good stuff.
What a great guy.
He's a good guy.
Good old LeBron.
Yeah, or I'm just talking about, like, say you're like a professional athlete, and you came from some place of not a lot of money, or you came from a rough neighborhood and you get to be a millionaire, and then you go back and you try to give some time and money to your community to, like, make a community center, or, like, whatever it is.
Yeah.
That's
a little garden.
Something. If everybody did that, though, how much better off would we be,
It's true.
That's the whole thing of, like, this whole Make America Great Again thing, and I think it was Joe Rogan or somebody that said it. It's just like, if you really wanted to make, he was talking to Brett Weinstein the other day. If you really wanted to make it great again, we would pull out of these wars in the Middle East, pull out of this, like, nation building, stop spending our money over there, invest it into the inner city, invest it into, like, things like light rails and technology that doesn't use as much fossil fuels and transports people and information quicker, and this whole net neutrality thing, and this whole thing where they're fucking slowing down people's iPhones.
Oh, they've been doing that for years.
I know, but, like, everything should be faster and cheaper and easier for, if you're going to call yourself an American.
Yeah.
How much better are people going to get along if, like, if you work in a restaurant and you make a lot less money than somebody who's a fucking banker or a lawyer, but it doesn't cost you anything to get to work. You can get there, like, quickly, and then you come back and you have more time to spend with your family and your friends, like, how much more happy are you going to be? And how less likely are you to stab that banker and take his money?
Probably less. Yeah, it's better for the bankers. I don't know if you're going to be more or less happy, though, because I've read things that say basically the level of happiness hasn't changed in the past, like, 300 years.
Right.
It's like there's always going to be this standard level. There's going to be some guy who's got it all and who's miserable.
Right.
And there's going to be some guy who's got nothing and he's happier than anybody in the world.
I agree with you.
And there's going to be variation.
I just mean society as a whole. If the idea is that, like, I can walk down from my house to, like, and get on a train and go downtown, and I don't have to worry about
murderous thoughts towards bankers.
Just like
these thoughts about killing bankers,
my safety,
taking up too much time.
Any of this shit,
I think if you're going to develop a system just so that people don't want to kill bankers, I think you should worry about why people want to kill the bankers first. Look at Vietnam. There was this whole thing in Vietnam. Did you see that? I think it was a couple of years ago. But they killed some bankers.
Vietnam, the country.
Yeah,
recently.
Oh yeah, not the.
I thought you were talking about the war.
Look at Vietnam, man.
I know. I was like, what?
No, the country recently. I think in 2015, 16, there were these bankers. They were caught for embezzlement. Mm-hmm. They were caught for some of the same shit that these bankers did to us in 2008, and they chopped their fucking heads off.
Right. And I think a lot of people if you ask most people in America, like, what happened to, like, the bankers during the housing bubble, and when they fucked over everyone, people were like, I don't know, did they go to jail? And it's like, no, not one person went to jail.
No, they were rewarded beyond your wildest dreams.
Yeah, I agree. It's fucked up.
They were rewarded.
It's wrong.
But hopefully people can do a little remembering of that and, buy some crypto, buy some Bitcoin. Because I feel like buying Bitcoin is it's a vote for a new system. More than buying a currency and making money and blah, 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 blah. It's like you're saying, fuck this fiat system, fuck these bankers with all this power. We want something new.
For me,
Mm-hmm. Hashtag me too.
It's for me, it's a good way to. I look at it as like a piggy bank.
Yeah,
for me, as a way to
savings account.
save
Exactly.
money,
which is also really good because we haven't had that.
Because putting money just in a fucking savings account
Bullshit.
is bullshit. It doesn't do anything for you.
So what? They can buy some more Toyota trucks for ISIS.
Exactly.
That's what they're doing with your savings account money. By the way, your IRA, all that shit, they're just buying it up.
Well, that was a fun. I just mean that it's more fun to buy Bitcoin than it is to put it into my bank account because I get to actually like watch it go up drastically and watch it go down drastically. And
it's exciting.
I get to have I get to have a little bit of excitement involved with my money than going like I put $300 in the bank last year and I still have $300 if I was lucky enough to not sell it.
Yeah, it's true. Millennials are saving more money now.
Well, that was an interesting thing, when I was talking to those guys, bringing it all back to the original thing about going to the holiday party and talking to people about Bitcoin was, one of the main questions people always ask is like, well, how do you get your money out?
I know, they're obsessed with that.
Yeah.
They're like, fucking people.
And the idea that...
like, you're never going to get it back.
The idea that a piece of paper is actually worth something. It's all because we've agreed upon this thing.
Yeah.
It's the same with gold. I mean, gold obviously you can make stuff with it, but like really
you put it in phones and shit.
Yeah, but really we could do something else.
No, it's just a shiny thing that there's not that much of.
We've just agreed upon it.
Yeah.
That it's worth something. I mean, it all dollars is really a really good way that the government figured out how to get everyone's fucking gold, basically.
Yeah. You take them off the gold. Yeah, take everyone's gold. You have this fiat system where a bunch of elite people get together and decide what the value of money based on, what.
But the idea that like you have $500,000 in your bank account and that you could go to the bank and go like, okay, I want my $500,000. They're not going to give you $500,000. They're going to give you a check that says $500,000. It's all digital.
Yeah. Then what are you going to do? Go to another bank?
Exactly.
And then put that check in there. It's like, where's my fucking money?
You're not going to walk out of there with a fucking briefcase, No.
They want your money. They want your Bitcoin. They want your gold. Because that's power.
Well, I think you're right, and I think that's a good place to end it.
Yeah, well, let's meditate on those things.
All right, well, I'll try to call you this week, and if you write back, maybe we can do another fucking episode of the show.
All right.
All right.
See you guys.
Bye.
Bye.